Hi guys, today we're going to do cottage pie. That's made of beef, but very similar to shepherd's pie, which is made of lamb. Here we go. First things to think about, potatoes are going to be mashed, probably with some other root vegetables to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to have sweet potato, parsnip and potato for the topping. Some people have it very plain and just go for potato. That's probably going to take a little time to cook, so straight away we need to get the kettle on and the boiling of these potatoes. So I'm not going to peel the potatoes nor the parsnip, I'll probably peel the sweet potatoes a little bit to make it really country-ish and have some texture and skin actually mashed up. If you want it smooth, peel everything. If you're not going to peel your vegetables, make sure that you use a good scourer just to take off the rough bits and any muddy bits. But that's fine. This is your mince and onions for the meaty pie bit. For the potato topping, similar amounts each. We're going to cut these fairly small so they boil quickly. All this will be mashed together. This is your topping. We might have some more potato. I'm just going to do a little bit more potato, otherwise it will be too sweet for those. And in they go. Bit of salt. So for the mince, we've got a low-fat mince. We're going to use carrots. We're going to use some nice big onions, and then inside we're going to put a bit of thyme, possibly a few mixed herbs, a tiny bit of tomato paste, tomato puree, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. We're going to have other flavourings and seasoning, salt and pepper. Chop your onion as per normal. Bit of oil in the pan. Onions. Make sure the extraction is on too. Onions are quite strong. So do the onions till they go a bit clear, or even caramelised, because that makes them more tasty. The onions here slightly caramelised, that's great, that's gorgeous. We're now going to add the mince and push that down to the bottom. The onions can go to the side. The idea is to reduce the moisture in the meat. I'm not going to move that around too much. Let the pan do the work, but the moisture needs to be released there. I'll turn that in a minute. Again, I'm not bothering to even peel the carrots, but I will just take the outside off with a scourer. After a few minutes, and you can see it's cooking through, we can turn this, and as you see, the meat's beginning to brown and caramelise underneath. Getting rid of all the moisture to intensify the flavour. As that's reducing down and we're browning off the meat, we're going to be adding some of these. This is from my garden actually. This is bay leaf. Break it up and smell that. Gorgeous. And this one, this is called thyme. We could add some mixed herbs, but if we do add too many mixed herbs, it becomes sort of like a Mediterranean dish, and this is not Mediterranean. Again, to lift the meat and the onion, a bit of garlic. We can do a bit of garlic, use a garlic crusher. So a bit of garlic. The idea is to reduce all the moisture, get all the moisture out so the meat and the onions are fairly dry. And then we'll add more tasty stock into it to build up the stock. Once that's dried out and caramelised a little bit. Because the carrots will take a little bit of cooking, you could parboil these, but I'll have them now. I'm just going to check the vegetables. These need to be nice and soft because they're going to be mashed. Another 3 minutes and we'll mash those. Bit of thyme. A splash of Worcestershire sauce. Tomato puree. Spoonful or two. Pepper. So I am using a beef stock, although you can actually use chicken stocks. Chicken stock is fine to add these dishes, and I'm going to add quite a lot of water into this, my pie. Option to thicken it, flour now, so it cooks with the fatter bit of the meat, or corn flour when I've added the stock. I'm going to put flour, I think. Nice generous portion of that. Mix it all up. let the flour cook for a bit. Make sure it doesn't stick at the bottom. And then stop. Turn the heat down, let that cook for a short time, and now onto the mashing. Back in for a smash. At this point, oven on, 180 I think, we'll do it. This is going to be very, very colourful. But this hasn't got to be perfectly smooth because it'll all just be one colour. I quite like it mottled with a skin and nice rustic looking. So this potato will be a bit heavy and a bit dry if we have it just like this. So I'm going to add some butter into it, a little bit of milk to make it a bit more fluid, and an egg to help it set. Add some butter, milk. You don't want it too sloppy. Break the egg into a separate dish, so let me check that it's okay, and that's fine. In it goes, and then break it and mash it with everything around. Hey presto! So we're going to be putting the meat in now, and then the mash on top. Let's go and have a look at our meat. Look at that, delicious. Meat in, half your pie dish with meat. Now we could have put the bay leaves in earlier really and removed them, but I'm going to surprise people by leaving them in, and people can take them out themselves, but they'll add flavour. Well, that's going to be gorgeous. Here we go then. Potato, dollops of potato initially, and then we'll spread it. So I've got half meat and the top half is going to be the potato. And spread it out. And simply make a pattern on the top with a fork. So, what do you think? To the centre. That's done. Okay, and into the oven. Okay, when you're ready, this is going in the oven for about 10 minutes. 10 to 15. Well, cottage pie is really a meal in itself, but we are going to add an extra bit of colour, and green vegetables, important. So we're going to have roasted tomatoes. I don't need to put a bit of oil on, but I will. Makes it more roasty, and I think those can go in underneath that. So Liz managed to get some reduced broccoli spears, just very thin length, rather than the big sort of bulky broccoli you can buy like that. So because that's reduced, we're going to use those up today. You can always wash it in the pan once they're in there. I'm just going to tip it out. On it goes. These will take about 5 minutes. Come and have a look now. This is doing beautifully. The topping is lovely and golden and brown on top. Some people put cheese on the top at this point to sort of give it a bit of a coating, but no, we're not going to bother. Up to you though. Very carefully remove pie onto a mat. It's going to be hot. Yum, yum, yum. Squeeze fingers, bit of decoration around the side, and a few of those to make the colour. Have a go yourself. Play with the potato, don't put so much parsnip in if you don't like it plainer. Have fun, Instagram me your results. Loving what you're doing, thanks for your comments, keep going.